What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we're talking about the Hallow's End event, and specifically we're talking about how to make gold during the Hallow's End event. So we're going to be focusing on the Hallow's End event and how to utilize that to make gold in different ways, and it's going to be both farming, collecting, and even leveling plus making gold at the same time. Now later today I'm going to have a video talking about the experience bonuses we currently have active, so you know that leveling right now is absolutely insane. You can level up characters really fast, and taking advantage of the Hallow's End event, you can level up characters and make gold at the same time, which means if you have some characters you want to level up, either like if they're already leveled up a little bit, like level 60 or 70, and you want to push the final stretch to level 80, now is the perfect time to do exactly that, and to make gold at the same time. Alternatively, if you want to start from level 1 or level 10, and level all the way to level 80, now is arguably the perfect time to do that and make gold while leveling up a new character as well. Now, before we get into today's video, I do want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's picked up my Goldmaking Guide for the War Within, and if you haven't picked it up yet, there's a link to it down below, in the pinned comment and also in the video description. And if you want to make serious amounts of gold in the War Within, definitely check out that guide. It's over 100 pages long, shows you different ways to make gold, whether that's farming, solo farming, group farming, or if you're into old content farming, we also have a current content plus old content farming, and we're talking a bunch about professions, how to use that to make more gold based on your time spent. When you're farming, for example, you are directly trading your time for gold, but when it comes to professions, you can basically trade your knowledge for gold and craft instead. You still have like a gold per hour cap in crafting as well, but typically, you can make more gold for the time you spend if you're doing something like crafting, or setting up professions on characters to use concentration crafting, and make a bunch of gold that way. In that guide, we have examples of how to spend knowledge points to min-max gold making, and also how to spend concentration. In addition to that, when you buy the guide, you get access to a gold making Discord community, where I give you guys early access to videos and exclusive videos as well, so you basically get more content and earlier access to content at the same time. Now, this specific video will not be in early access because the Hallow's End event is only out for 2 weeks, and I want to get this information out there as early as I can, so you can take advantage of it as early as you can. So, let's have a chat. Now, during the Hallow's End event, there's typically 4 different ways that I personally make gold, and we'll start right off with number 1. Now, first of all, the Hallow's End event gives us access to a gold farm that we only have access to while the Hallow's End event is active. That farm is located right here in Shadowmoon Valley, and if you're playing, for example, if you're Alliance character, you can simply use your Garrison Hearthstone to get here, and if you're Horde character, I do believe going to Ashran would probably be the best. So you have portals from Orgrimmar, for example, to Ashran, and if you don't have a Garrison Hearthstone, the same thing goes for Alliance as well. You will have a portal to Ashran, and you can then fly from there. Alternatively, just find a way to get yourself to Draenor and go to Shadowmoon Valley and farm these mobs. When you are farming these mobs, you have 2 different ways of farming them, and I have a specific video from the past talking about that as well, where you can either do this in a 5-man farm, in which case I recommend being 2 5-man groups farming in different locations to trigger the hyperspawn in both locations. So in this case, you have 2 5-man groups farming kind of together, but at the same time not together. So you basically want to space those out so you trigger the hyperspawn, and method number 2 is literally be 2 groups of 4 people that farm together, and therefore you spread yourself out, but you're 4 people, and both groups gets loot from both parties, so you can be 8 people farming together as well. Typically, in my experience, being 2 5-man parties is much simpler to do, and also usually makes the most because you trigger the hyperspawn way faster. Now, at this farm, you're basically hunting for a toy, the Coin of Many Faces, and you're looking for the Spectral Grog. At the same time, you also get transmog items, so this is like an old content farm, but it's only available for 2 weeks of the entire year. So if you want to do this farm, you have a limited time to do so, and that's kind of why I think it's great. It breaks up the monotone gold farming we're currently doing. You can have a break from current content and go do a really good farm while it's available. Now, typically, what I do here is that you have dailies in your garrison that gives you something called spooky supplies, and those spooky supplies you can then convert into Trick or Treat, which is the Halloween currency used to buy transmog items and battle pets, and for gold making it's mainly going to be the battle pets. Now, these dailies are down at the place you're already farming, so I usually combine doing these dailies with the farming as well. So while I'm doing my dailies, I try to get a group together at the same time and farm for about half an hour every single day, or 1 hour every other day, and that way you can do the dailies and do a little bit of farming at the same time, instead of farming for like 10 hours in one go. And here, for example, you have the current price at the exact moment of recording this video of the Coin of Many Faces, for example, on Agwin. We have this will be different from server to server, so they will be high on some servers and lower on other servers. You can see in EU it goes anywhere from 500 gold to 6.8, so the price varies a lot. Now, the second item you'll be getting from that farm is also going to be the Spectral Grog, which is selling for 170 gold right now on the EU server. And this is one of those items you probably want to keep so you can sell it later, because once again this farm is only available during Hallow's End. Typically what I do here is once again farm for about half an hour per day while doing my dailies, and then I keep the items and sell them in a month or two after the event ends. It's all supply and demand at the end of the day, and these items do sell quite often as well, but they usually go down during Halloween, because once again supply increases, people are farming right there, and people love instant gratification. So like if they get the Spectral Grog, they will post it on the auction house right now and sell it for whatever the price is, instead of waiting a couple of months, maybe for double the price. Like I've seen these sell for 500 gold each in the last couple of years, so 170 gold right now is cheap, and it's going to keep going down as well. Method number 2 of making gold during the Hallow's End event will be kind of a multi-purpose way of making gold, and it's focusing on buying the items you're going to buy with the currency. So basically, you farm Trick or Treat, and then you buy, for example, the battle pet. You have the Sinister Squashling, which is not the one you want to buy, by the way, because that one drops all over the place, and you can see it's 11 gold. But this one, for example, is 35,000 gold on my server, or 23,000 gold region sale average. You have the Cursed Berman, which is also 33k region sale average, and you have Naxi, another pet that was recently introduced, I think, and is selling for once again 20 to 30k plus for that item as well. So on this one you are focusing on battle pets, which is not the highest sell rate. I mean, you can look right here, sell rate of 0.003, definitely not the best sell rate, but if you're into old content farming, transmog farming, battle pet farming, and selling those items, it's a good way to make some extra gold at the same time. So for these tokens, you want to do your dailies. They're located right here outside your capital city. So just do those dailies every single day. You want to queue up for the Hallow's End, the haunted, the Headless Horseman, basically. You want to queue up for that as well. And the thing is, I can queue up at level 70 for the Headless Horseman and get the epic version of the Loot-Filled Pumpkin. So you want to do that every single day, and you want to do your dailies every single day. In addition to that, you can fly around and grab candy buckets, and that's kind of where you can level at the same time by literally doing candy buckets. Flying around grabbing candy buckets gives you a hefty chunk of experience, especially right now with the bonuses we have available. You have 10% from the anniversary event, you can get another 10% from doing the quest at the anniversary event for 12 hours, that's like a daily for 12 hours for 10% more. Then we have 10% right here, like if you just click on the Wicked Fire or the Bonfire, you can get another 10% at the same time. So you're just stacking those 10%ers, like right here we now have 10% more experience and 10% more reputation at the same time for 2 hours. That is 30% by itself, so 30% by default, so you can level up really fast. Now, this is kind of perfect if you're a single farming player or a single player, and you want to level up and make gold at the same time, and you're playing, for example, a DPS. Currently, if you're queuing for time walking dungeons have a lot of time, like queue time for DPS only. Typically, in my experience, it's up to 10 minutes, sometimes more than 10 minutes, and if you're trying to level fast, those 10 minutes are really bad for your experience per hour. Now, in this case, if you want to level up from level 70 to level 80, and you're like solo player, you are a DPS, do you use that downtime? fly around and grab candy buckets while queuing up for time walking dungeons, and you will make a little bit of gold while you're leveling at the same time. Either way, this method is kind of boring, but once again, just farm those tokens out, buy battle pets, and sell them on the auction house. That one as well, you kind of want to sell the items after the event is over. Now, you can also use them to buy these wands, and that's kind of where goldmaking method number 3 comes into play, where you can sell the achievement required here. So you have the Masquerade, which is part of the meta achievement for the Hallow's End. For anyone who hasn't done that yet, like, you want to have this for the meta anyway, and this achievement is super easy. You just have to get transformed by these hallowed ones. You have the Bat, Leper Gnome, Pirate, Wisp, Ghost, Ninja, and Skeleton, and you can target buy these for 2 tricky treats each, and then you can sell the entire achievement. And for this, what I usually do is stand here at these NPCs, and I say that I'm trying to sell the achievement, and people can just pay me. If you sell the achievement for 5k gold, that's like nothing anyway for most people, and they will happily trade you that to like not have to look for people that have 7 different ones, and they have to be specific ones. Now, goldmaking method number 4 is kind of a jack of all trades, where we take everything we have just talked about, and then remember that this is a time-limited event, and everything you are farming for, everything you are selling, will be selling year-round. This is kind of where investing comes into play. So for example, if Spectral Grog absolutely tanks in price, it could be a good time to buy those out, and then wait 2 months, and then try to sell them for an inflated price. The same thing goes for the Coin of Many Faces, the toy from the farm, and the same thing goes for the Battle Pet as well. Like, they will go down in price during the Hallow's End event. I can guarantee it, because once again, people get these currencies now, they don't get them otherwise, and therefore the supply of pets goes up, so they will go down in price. Now, pets are typically not the best to invest in, because once again, their sale rate is kind of trash, but if you're looking to make your gold, you can easily maybe double your gold on a pet flip. Now, the same thing goes on, you have the pets, you have the Coin of Many Faces, and you have the Spectral Grog. There's also a pet you can get from the Headless Horseman every single day, so you have that one as well. Basically, every item available during the Headless Horseman event or during the Haunted Hallows will probably go up in price at some point when the event is over. It's all supply and demand at the end of the day. So hopefully this video kind of shows you the possibilities of the Haunted Hallows event when it comes to making gold, and that's basically what I have for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like down below, and let me know how you are currently making gold in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear it. For me, I'm doing a bunch of investing, I'm doing a bunch of short time flips, and some of those do work out and some of them absolutely don't. I, for example, spent 1 million gold on Gleaming Shards the other day, and they've just kept going down in price. Granted, I'm holding on to them, hoping they go back up, but then again, 1 million gold is kind of like, I can just play around with that and hope to make a profit, and if I don't, that's fine. But I just wanted to join in on the hype on that one, because they were going down so much, and I bought a bunch of them, and they kept going down, so hopefully they go back up. And apart from that, I also make a bunch of gold from concentration crafting, so I have a bunch of profession characters set up, and just printing gold every single day, making tier 3 enchants, making tier 3 flasks, and tier 3 potions with concentration, so I make them cheaper than otherwise you would when you're mass crafting. Concentration, I do believe, is going to be key for gold making, but either way, once again, let me know how you're making gold in the comments down below. As always, thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.